The NFC West is going to be one of the most competitive divisions in the NFL next year, with a budding Arizona Cardinals team, a dominant Seahawks and 49ers team, and a wilting Rams team. This division, I think, will be a topic of discussion all year. And starting off with the Super Bowl runner-ups, we have the San Francisco 49ers. And the 49ers are really interesting. They have the best defensive front in the NFL, and they also added Javon Kinlaw in the draft. They have the best tight end in the league, but in my opinion, their wide receiving core leaves much to be desired. I'm not a fan of Jimmy Garoppolo. He missed George Kittle plenty of times in the Super Bowl, which probably would have won him the game if he just would have seen George Kittle and thrown him the ball. Their team is going to look a lot like it did last year. They're going to dominate during the regular season, play very well, and I have them going 12-4, making the playoffs. They won't win the division because of a head-to-head record difference with the Seahawks, but they'll still be in the playoffs.
Well, much like Tristan talked about, the biggest addition for this team is Javon Kinlaw. I think he's going to be one of the best defensive tackles we've ever seen. He is not going to be Aaron Donald, but he's going to be really close. Pair that with Trent Williams joining the squad to bolster the offensive line. I think the 49ers are looking to repeat as the 1 seed in the NFC next year. They're going to fail at it, but hey, they're going to try. Jimmy Garoppolo has proved himself a very capable game manager, particularly when he's paired with an elite run game and a suffocating defense. They've got a few tough games, like playing Seattle, New England, and Dallas on the road, so I expect them to be slightly worse than last year, but ever so slightly. The 49ers are going to go 12-3-1. I am predicting a tie. I still think they're going to be favorites to win the Super Bowl out of the NFC, though, due to the New Orleans Saints' questionable playoff history in recent years.
A tie. No one can question the ruffles and ridges on Isaiah's brain. A tie, you heard it here first. Place money on that bet. Who'd you say they were tying again?
They're going to be tying with the Rams, and we'll get to why that's such a good thing later in the video. But a team which will not have a tie, a tieless team, a team with no ties. The Seattle Seahawks have made a big move this offseason when they traded for all-pro safety Jamal Adams. And some people are probably going to hail them as the top dogs in the division, but I disagree. The NFL is a passing league, and the Seahawks are a terrible defense when it comes to defending the pass. They were ranked 27th last year in terms of pass defense. Call me a skeptic, but the addition of a box safety is not going to save that unit and fix their woes. And you pair that with the fact they are a run-first football team. Why they're a run-first football team with an MVP caliber quarterback in Russell Wilson? Who knows? You do you, Pete Carroll. But they've got to face some really tough run-stopping fronts like the 49ers, Bills, Vikings, Rams, and Jets. All of whom's front sevens are chomping at the bit to tear apart Chris Carson. But as mentioned previously, they've got Russell Wilson. So they're going to be contenders. They'll be just fine. The Hawks are going to go 11-5 and make the playoffs as the 5 seed.
Well, the Seahawks, once again, they're going to be dominant this year. I think they're going to be slightly better than Isaiah thinks they're going to be. With the exception of losing Jadeveon Clowney, I think they're another team that has only added pieces. They got the best strong safety in the league in Jamal Adams. They got Josh Gordon back, which we don't know what his suspension is going to look like. And they're getting back a healthy Chris Carson. Isaiah mentioned teams like the 49ers, which he thinks the Seahawks are going to struggle against. But when you take a look at their games versus the 49ers last year, they should have won those games. They were so close to winning. They were like 7 yards away from winning that game. And that is because they had Marshawn Lynch off the street as the best running back in the backfield. They were down to their 4th and 5th string running backs last year. So with a healthy Chris Carson, we don't know when they're going to get Josh Gordon. DK Metcalf in year 2, Tyler Lockett, I have them going 12-4 on the year, and they win the tiebreaker with the 49ers, and they'll be the 1 seed. Or not the 1 seed. They'll win their division.
You just said all these nice things about them and then have them winning only one more game than the
I said they'll be slightly better.
No. See, here's what you got to do. You got to use hyperbole. You got to make them sound like the best team. You got to say they're going 15-1. They're coming to avenge that Super Bowl interception by Wilson. You got to commit to it. Come on now.
I'm sorry. My brain is just, I do only strictly right predictions now.
See, watch. Now they're going to go 15-1. I'm going to be upset I didn't actually say they were going to. But a team which will assuredly not be going at 15-1. The Arizona Cardinals.
Kyler Murray haters, close your ears.
Close your ears. There are 2 words floating around in my head, though. Not yet. They've got so many good pieces. Isaiah Simmons, DeAndre Hopkins, Budda Baker, Chandler Jones, and an amazing young quarterback in Kyler Murray. It's not coming together this year. Their schedule is best described as unlucky. They've got to face teams which they're going to beat at home, like the Dolphins, Redskins, and Lions. The freebies, they're at home. But their tougher opponents, like the Cowboys and the Patriots, are on the road. They've got to fly to New York twice. It's just unfortunate for them. I think this is a good team, and I think it is very close to being a great team in a few years, but just not yet. They're going to be 7-9, and they will be in contention for the playoffs before falling apart a little bit later in the year.
I have many of the same sentiments that Isaiah has. I don't think they're there yet. They're still going to be good this year. They also suffer from being in the NFC West, one of the most competitive divisions. So, and when they add the best wide receiver, one of the best wide receivers in the NFL, some think he's the best in the NFL, and DeAndre Hopkins, you only lose David Johnson, who's had one good season where he was insane, and they coming off a 5-10 record. A season which people expected them to be probably the worst team in the league, only get 2 wins, 3 wins. I was also one of those people. They're going to, when they were 24th in passing yards, they're going to elevate from that with DeAndre Hopkins. They were 16th in scoring. They've only added pieces on offense. Christian Kirk will also hopefully be better this year. They always have Larry Fitzgerald still roaming around with his cane. So I think they're going to go 8-8 this year. And again, they suffer from being in the NFC West.
There's another team out there which suffers from being in the NFC West. But while the Cardinals are rising, the Rams are in freefall mode. They threw money at Jared Goff, who stunk up the joint last year. They lost Dante Fowler Jr., Corey Littleton, Brandon Cooks, Todd Gurley, and Eric Weddle. The only saving graces of this team are Sean McVay and Aaron Donald. 2 people who will always be able to keep you in football games. But it's not going to be enough. The Rams are going to go 6-9-1 with the nicest record in all of the NFL. Nice.
I mean, you forgot to mention they also have Jalen Ramsey, but they had Aaron Donald and Jalen Ramsey last year and still were the 17th in the league in scoring defense. There's much left to be desired there on defense, even though they have 2 of the best defensive players in the NFL. They can't stop people from scoring. They couldn't run the ball last year. I don't think that's going to improve with adding Cam Akers to their backfield over Todd Gurley. We'll have to see there.
Cam Akers has 2 functional knees, though, so that's nice.
Yeah, that is an improvement. But I think in general, they're taking a step back, especially when the other 3 teams in the division are taking massive steps forward or just keeping their team on the cutting edge. The Rams haven't done that. They've only lost pieces, like Isaiah said, and I have them going 6-10. I don't have a tie predicted like Isaiah's big brain does.
He's not bold enough. It takes a real man to predict ties and be wrong every single time, but still keep trying. But I digress. That has been our thoughts on the NFC West, one of the best divisions in all football. Let us know what you think down in the comments below. Be sure to like and subscribe, and check out some of our other record predictions. Ciao.
Peace.